My beloved child, I know there have been long, weary seasons in your life where everything around you has felt like an unending, barren wilderness. You have walked with heavy, exhausted feet, carrying deep, painful questions that seem to have no answers, and your heart has felt completely crushed by the silent agony of watching others move forward while you feel left behind, forgotten in the shadows. There are nights when you look up toward heaven, desperately searching for a glimmer of light, only to encounter what feels like a terrifying iron silence. You pray until your voice fades into a whisper, yet you do not hear an immediate answer. You try so hard to be strong for those who depend on you, wearing a smile like a mask to hide the bleeding wounds within, but deep inside your soul, you feel as though the waters of hope have completely run dry. In those quiet moments of absolute isolation, the enemy whispers that I have forgotten you. But my precious child, hear my voice today. I have never taken my eyes off you, not even for a single fraction of a second. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted, as Psalm 34:18 reminds you, and I have been holding your hand through every dark valley. I have watched you count the heavy losses of your life, the years that felt completely wasted, the joy that was abruptly stripped away, the financial security that was shattered, and the blessings that seemed stolen from your very hands by betrayal, deceit, or cruel circumstances. The enemy tells you that what is gone is lost forever, that you are too tired to rebuild, and that your story ends in defeat. But I am the Lord, the maker of time and the restorer of all things. I am stepping into your wilderness today to declare that your agonizing season of waiting is officially over. The chains of delay, stagnation, and lack are being broken right now by my sovereign power. As written in Joel 2:25, I will restore to you the years that the locusts have eaten. The wilderness was not meant to destroy you. It was the hidden sacred ground where I was stripping away the old to build a soul of refined gold. The decree of heaven has been issued. Your period of silent suffering has reached its end, and my divine restoration is beginning. I am opening doors no man can shut, and I will not only return what was wrongfully taken from you, but I will multiply it with heavenly peace, honor, and abundance that the world can never steal away. Lift up your head, my child, for your wilderness is blooming, and your mourning has finally broken. My beloved child, I have witnessed the exact moments when your peace, your joy, and your hard-earned stability were systematically stolen from you. I watched you lie awake in the dead of night, your eyes staring blankly into the dark, your mind spinning endlessly with an exhausting cycle of overthinking, anxiety, and silent panic. To the world, you carry a heavy armor of strength. You step out into your day with your head held high, ensuring that everyone else is taken care of. But I see the severe physical and emotional toll it has taken on your fragile soul. I see the sudden lines of exhaustion written upon your face, the deep, heavy sighs that leave your chest when you are completely alone, and the sudden drop of tears you quickly wipe away before anyone else enters the room. You have asked me in the absolute quietness of your spirit, Father, where were you when they took advantage of my kindness? Where were you when years of my hard work and sincere sacrifices vanished into nothing but disappointment and pain? Hear me clearly today. I was right there. I recorded every single unreturned act of love, every hidden tear you sowed in secret, and every resource that was unjustly drained from your life by deceitful hands or cruel circumstances. The enemy of your soul desperately wants you to believe that these painful losses define your ultimate worth, that you are meant to live the rest of your days guarded, bitter, and permanently walled off from happiness. But I am the Lord who weighs the hearts, and I balance all things in my perfect timing. I saw the silent betrayals that broke your spirit, and I saw how you still chose to remain soft and gentle, even when you had every reason to scream in anger. Do not allow your heart to become hardened by the harshness of this world, my child. What was temporarily taken from you did not diminish the glorious destiny I have woven for your life. In fact, every single tear you sowed in that agonizing season was caught in my bottle, preserved as holy seed for the massive harvest of restoration that is breaking through right now. There is something extraordinary happening behind the scenes that the enemy does not want you to notice. The very blessings, opportunities, and years that were stolen are being gathered back by my heavenly hosts. They will not just be returned, they will be restored to you with a divine interest, bringing a deeper kind of peace, honor, and abundance that will leave your soul in absolute awe. Do not look back at the years of lack, and do not rush out of my presence in fear. Your breakthrough is closer than your mind can currently comprehend. So hold your peace, keep your spirit calm, and watch how I rewrite your story. My beloved child, look closely at yourself for a moment. When you look into the mirror, do you notice the deep lines etched around your eyes, the constant tension held in your jaw, or the way your shoulders naturally slump forward from the sheer weight of carrying this unspoken exhaustion? These are not just physical signs of passing years. They are the physical map of the silent battles you fought when everyone else thought you were completely fine. You have endured long seasons where my voice felt miles away, where every desperate prayer seemed to hit a ceiling of brass and bounce back as nothing but an empty echo. The enemy has weaponized my silence, whispering into your fragile mind that I have turned my back on you, or worse, that your value has expired. But I need you to lean in and listen to my truth today. My silence was never my absence. Before a massive breakthrough manifests on the earth, heaven almost always feels completely silent. Think of a fragile seed buried deep beneath the dark, cold soil. In that absolute darkness, it makes no sound. To the naked eye, it looks dead, isolated, and completely forgotten. Yet within that very silence, a profound structural transformation is taking place. The outer shell of the seed is breaking apart so its roots can dig deep into the life-giving water below. That is exactly what I have been doing within your soul during this agonizing delay. I was not ignoring your cries. I was expanding your internal capacity. I was fortifying your spiritual roots so that when the torrential downpour of my blessings, wealth, and total restoration finally hits your life, you will stand tall and not be washed away. What you desperately called a frustrating delay was actually my sovereign protection. If I had opened certain doors when you first begged me to, the weight of that blessing would have utterly crushed a version of you that was not yet structurally prepared to carry it. I had to allow the fire of refinement to burn away the hidden layers of self-doubt, generational fear, and codependency that would have sabotaged your glorious future. The crucible did not destroy you. It was the sacred laboratory where I shaped you into an unshakable monument of grace. There is a divine secret I am about to unveil that the enemy is terrified for you to understand. Do not leave or turn away now, because what I am doing next behind the scenes will completely vindicate every single night you spent crying in total isolation. My beloved child, have you noticed how the whispers of fear, doubt, and total worthlessness have grown strangely louder and more aggressive in your mind over these past few days? Have you felt that sudden, overwhelming weight pressing down upon your chest, urging you to just throw up your hands, abandon your prayers, and surrender to the permanent numbness of stagnation? I see the deep weariness in your eyes when you look into the mirror. and I see how a sudden wave of overthinking has tried to completely paralyze your steps, making you feel as though you are trapped in a dark room with absolutely no way out. But I need you to open the eyes of your spirit and understand a critical, unshakable secret of the spiritual realm today. The enemy only screams his loudest when he knows his time is running out. The adversary does not waste his weapons on a barren, dead field. He only wages furious war against a soul that is carrying a massive, heaven-ordained harvest of restoration. The sudden, intense friction you are experiencing in your life right now is not a sign that you are failing, nor is it a sign that I have turned my back on you. It is, in truth, the ultimate proof that your breakthrough is closer than it has ever been in your entire life. The enemy can see the divine blueprint of your restoration. He can see that the stolen years, the shattered finances, and the broken relationships are being supernaturally put back together by my hands. And he is absolutely terrified that you are about to step over the threshold. He knows that he cannot stop my decree, so his only strategy is to distract you with anxiety. He wants to make you believe the lie that you are too broken, too tired, or too forgotten to receive my goodness. He wants you to willingly walk away from the very door that I have already unlocked and opened for you. Do not fall for his deception, my precious child. Every single arrow of doubt shot against your mind is nothing but a desperate final attempt to blind you from seeing the glory that is about to unfold in your life. I have already set a boundary around your suffering, and I have decreed that the enemy cannot cross it. The very chaos and turbulence surrounding you right now is not a sign of destruction. It is the sound of the old structures of lack, grief, and delay completely collapsing to make way for my divine abundance. Stand firm, guard the doorway of your soul with my unshakable peace, and do not let go of my hand now. Stay in this posture of quiet, expectant trust, because what I am about to perform next behind the scenes will completely silence every mocking voice that ever dared to speak against your destiny. My beloved child, I want to speak directly to the hidden places inside you that feel irreversibly broken. The enemy has tried to convince you that because you have been bruised, you are somehow disqualified from the beautiful future I promised you. He constantly points at your scars and calls them signs of failure. He brutally reminds you of the people who walked away, the massive investments of love and time that seemingly produced no harvest, and the heavy doors that were slammed shut right in your face. But today, I am completely changing the narrative of your life. I do not look at your scars as signs of defeat. I look at them as the profound credentials of a warrior who survived the fire without losing their gentle heart. You are not a victim of your painful past. You are the chosen, deeply loved vessel for my upcoming glory. Let me teach you about the mathematics of heaven. When the world steals from you, it leaves a devastating deficit, an empty, hollow space that constantly aches in the middle of the night. But when I step in to restore what was unjustly taken, I do not merely replace it. That is the limited way of men, not the unlimited way of your heavenly Father. When I restore, I multiply. I am decreeing a sevenfold return over your life right now. The peace that was violently uprooted from your mind will be replaced by a profound peace that surpasses all human understanding. A peace so deep and anchored that no external storm or human opinion will ever be able to shake it again. The relationships that drained your energy will be replaced by divine, heaven-sent connections. People who will genuinely celebrate you, cover you in prayer, and walk beside you in absolute loyalty. I am washing away the heavy, suffocating garments of shame, guilt, and regret that you have worn for far too long. I know you have carried the agonizing burden of feeling like you were constantly falling behind, watching others seemingly achieve their dreams with effortless ease, while you were trapped in an endless, exhausting cycle of mere survival. But my precious child, your timeline is not dictated by the rushing of the world. It is perfectly orchestrated by my sovereign hand. The delay you wept over was never a denial. It was the necessary gestation period for a miracle so massive that it required extra time in the darkness to be fully formed. Now, the season of your mourning has officially expired. Wipe your tears, release the heavy breath you have been holding, and lift your eyes. The very trials that were sent to utterly destroy you have been miraculously transformed by my hand into the stepping stones that will elevate you to your greatest victory. Prepare your heart, because your total restoration is not just coming, it has already begun. My beloved child, as we step into this glorious season of your total restoration, there is something of profound importance I need you to do for me today. I need you to open your exhausted hands and let go of the heavy stones of bitterness you have been quietly carrying. The people who misunderstood you, the friends who walked away when you needed them most, the voices that tried to constantly diminish your worth. I know exactly how deeply their actions cut into your gentle soul. You have held on to that pain tightly, believing that if you let it go, you are somehow excusing their behavior or allowing the enemy to win. But my child, forgiveness is not a pardon for their wrongdoing. It is the holy key that unlocks the final door to your absolute freedom. When you carry the agonizing weight of resentment, it acts as an invisible chain, tying you directly to the very past I am actively pulling you out of. If your hands are entirely full of the heavy baggage of yesterday's grief, how can you possibly receive the massive, overflowing blessings I am pouring out for your tomorrow? Vengeance is mine, and I will repay. I am the righteous judge, and there is not a single injustice you endured that has not been meticulously recorded in my heavenly courts. But I do not want your beautiful heart to be poisoned by the toxic residue of someone else's brokenness. You were not created to be a dark container for bitterness. You were masterfully designed to be a radiant vessel of my unshakable light. I am asking you to completely surrender the need to prove yourself to those who intentionally misunderstood you. Stop replaying the painful conversations in your mind. Stop agonizing over the apologies you never received. Let it all wash away in the boundless ocean of my grace right now. As you release them, watch how the suffocating heaviness instantly lifts off your chest. Watch how the chronic spiritual exhaustion that has plagued your physical body begins to evaporate. You are crossing a massive spiritual threshold this very hour. You cannot take the dusty, tattered garments of your painful past into the pristine palace of your promised future. Breathe out the anxiety, breathe out the anger, and step completely into my overwhelming peace. The past has absolutely no power over you anymore, for I am making all things entirely new. My beloved child, now that you have dropped the heavy stones of the past, I need you to look into my eyes and remember who you truly are. The world has tried to attach so many false and cruel labels to you. They called you broken, forgotten, overlooked, and ordinary. The enemy relentlessly whispered that your past mistakes, your financial struggles, and your seasons of intense loneliness would permanently define your entire future. But I do not call you by your temporary failures or your earthly struggles. I call you chosen. I call you worthy. I call you my deeply loved and fiercely protected child. Before I even laid the vast foundations of the earth, I knew your name. I saw this exact agonizing chapter in your life, and I already prepared the glorious victory. Do not walk through your days with your head bowed down in shame anymore. You carry a royal heavenly lineage within your spirit, and it is time for you to walk in the absolute authority I have freely given you. Because you are stepping into a season of massive restoration, the chaotic noise around you will attempt to aggressively distract you. The adversary knows he cannot stop the open doors I have placed before you, so he will try to send the wrong people back into your life to steal your vital focus. He will try to present you with sudden, confusing situations designed to make you panic, overthink, and abandon your post of faith. I am giving you clear instructions for this season today. Guard your spiritual peace violently. Do not engage in petty arguments that drain your divine energy. Do not desperately try to explain your calling or your boundaries to people who are utterly committed to misunderstanding you. Your only assignment in this critical, transitional hour is to stay incredibly close to me in prayer. Keep your eyes firmly locked on my eternal promises and absolutely refuse to be swayed by the temporary, shifting shadows of your current circumstances. I am placing a supernatural shield of protection around your weary mind right now. When the heavy spirit of anxiety tries to knock on your door in the middle of the night, it will find no entry. When the cold shadows of your old grief try to violently pull you backward into depression, they will be completely blinded by the glorious radiant light I am shining upon your new path. You are completely safe inside my grip. Trust the perfect timing of this beautiful new chapter. You are not just surviving day by day anymore. You are actively stepping into the profound, overflowing abundance I have destined for you since the beginning of time. Rest in your true identity today, for you are exactly where you need to be. My beloved child, as the dawn of your restoration breaks, you will begin to notice a profound and beautiful shift taking place within the very walls of your home. For so long you have felt like the solitary anchor, holding your entire family together. You have prayed desperately in the quiet hours of the morning for your loved ones, bearing the heavy emotional weight of their struggles, their distances, and their unspoken pain. I have seen the tears you shed over broken relationships, over the empty chairs at your table, and over the family members who seem to have wandered far from the light. The enemy has tried to convince you that your lineage is destined for division, and that your endless prayers for your household have simply dissolved into the void. But hear me now. My restoration does not stop at the doorway of your own heart. It is flooding directly into the foundation of your home. I am stepping into the fragile spaces where communication has broken down, where foolish pride has built invisible walls, and where long-standing bitterness has frozen the warmth of genuine love. I am doing a quiet, miraculous work behind the scenes to soften hardened hearts, to open blind eyes, and to gently guide the prodigals back to the path of peace. The heavy, suffocating atmosphere of tension and anxiety that has occasionally filled your rooms is being blown away by the fresh, healing breath of my Holy Spirit. The generational cycles of lack, misunderstanding, emotional distance, and spiritual apathy are being completely shattered this very moment by the supreme authority of my name. What the locust tried to devour in your family line, I am entirely rebuilding. Do not try to force reconciliation in your own exhausted strength. Do not exhaust your soul arguing with those who are not yet structurally ready to hear the truth. Instead, simply continue to be the steady, radiant vessel of my peace. When you choose gentleness over anger, when you choose to quietly intercede rather than to criticize, you are actively laying down the new foundation stones of a healed lineage. I am placing a massive wall of holy fire around your household right now. The adversary will no longer be permitted to secretly trespass and steal the joy, health, or unity from your family. Watch closely, my precious child, because the rooms that were once filled with painful silence and tension will soon echo with genuine laughter, and hearts that were once brutally divided will be beautifully knit back together. The season of mourning in your family is officially over. My beloved child, let us speak of the heavy, silent burden you carry concerning your future and your daily survival. I see the quiet panic that grips your fragile heart when you look at your resources, your physical energy, and the practical needs of your life. The enemy has relentlessly tormented you with the terrifying fear of lack, whispering that you will spend your remaining years struggling just to keep your head above water, or worse, that you will eventually become a burden to those you love. You have worked so incredibly hard, yet there are days when it feels like you are pouring water into a basket with holes. You have watched others seemingly prosper with ease, while you faithfully waited in the shadows, and in your deepest moments of exhaustion, you have silently asked me, "Father, what about me? When will it finally be my turn to just rest?" Hear my voice today. I am not just the God of your spiritual peace. I am Jehovah Jireh, the God of your absolute and total provision. The material and financial losses you have endured were not a sign of my abandonment, nor were they a punishment for your past mistakes. The systems of this world are fragile, chaotic, and deeply broken. But you must remember that you do not belong to the economy of this world. You belong to the limitless economy of heaven. I am about to open the windows of heaven over your life in a way that will completely shatter the heavy, suffocating yoke of debt, lack, and constant financial anxiety. The years that the locusts have eaten, the investments that failed, the opportunities that were unjustly taken from you, and the precious resources drained by unforeseen crises, I am restoring them all with supernatural interest. I am aligning your path with divine favor that money absolutely cannot buy. I am speaking your name in rooms you have not yet entered, and I am stirring the hearts of people to bless you, favor you, and open doors of massive opportunity that no human logic can explain. Do not look at your current limitations and falsely assume that this is the final chapter of your story. I am the God who brings pure water out of a solid rock and multiplies a few loaves of bread to feed thousands. Your agonizing season of constant toiling, stressing, and merely surviving is officially over. I am moving you from a dark season of survival into a brilliant season of breathtaking overflow. Breathe deeply, my precious child. Lay down the terrifying burden of provision at my feet today. You will not beg for bread, and you will not end your days in worry. My supernatural provision is rushing toward your house right now. My beloved child, let us pause for a moment and look closely at the physical toll this long, agonizing season has taken upon your mortal body. When you catch your reflection in the mirror, do you look at the deep lines etched upon your brow, the heavy dark shadows beneath your eyes, or the sudden patches of age spots upon your skin, and feel a profound sense of grief? The enemy has tried to use these outward markings of time to whisper a cruel, paralyzing lie into your spirit. He whispers that you are too far gone, that your physical strength has permanently faded, and that the best, most vibrant years of your life have been completely swallowed by sorrow, overthinking, and stress. You feel a constant, deep-seated fatigue in your bones that a normal night of sleep can no longer cure, and your heart occasionally flutters with the hidden anxiety of what tomorrow might bring. But hear my decree over your physical frame today. I am not just the savior of your eternal soul. I am the sovereign restorer of your physical health, your vitality, and your strength. As written in Psalm 103 verse 5, I satisfy your mouth with good things, so that your youth is renewed like the eagles. The physical and emotional pain you survived was quietly shaping your endurance, not destroying your ultimate capacity. The wrinkles upon your skin and the tiredness in your joints are not symbols of your final decay. They are merely the battle-tested armor of a soul that has survived an intense, prolonged spiritual warfare. I am reaching into the very cells of your body right now to completely reverse the structural damage that chronic anxiety, grief, and sleepless nights have inflicted upon you. I am breathing my fresh, life-giving breath into your heart, clearing out the hidden blockages of stress and infusing your nervous system with my supernatural peace. Where the enemy declared that you would spend your remaining years weak, fragile, and living in constant panic, I am establishing an unshakable foundation of divine stamina and radiant health. You will not stumble, and you will not wither away in the lonely shadows of old age. I saw every tear you cried in the dark when your body shook with exhaustion, and I promise you those tears were never wasted. The pain you carried was heavy, but it did not break your spirit. It only forced you to lean entirely against my everlasting embrace. I am stripping away the heavy aura of sickness, exhaustion, and physical stagnation from your life this very hour. Put on the fresh garments of strength, lift up your head, and take a deep, clear breath. The physical weariness you have grown so accustomed to carrying is completely dissolving under the intense warmth of my presence. Your body is my holy temple, and I am beautifully rebuilding its walls from the inside out. Stand firm, my precious warrior, for your most vibrant, impactful, and healthy days are standing directly before you. My beloved child, let us speak today about the hidden warfare of words, the invisible arrows of slander, and the painful sting of being falsely accused by those you once trusted completely. I see the heavy lump that forms in your throat when you remember the cruel whispers, the intentional exclusions, and the mocking laughter of those who completely misjudged your quiet season. You have carried a burning sensation in your chest, an agonizing urge to speak up, to defend your honor, and to shout the truth so that everyone would finally see the absolute purity of your heart. The enemy has used the harsh opinions of others to construct an invisible prison of shame around your weary mind, making you feel as though your reputation is permanently ruined and that you will always be viewed through the twisted lens of their lies. You have asked me in the deep, tear-filled silence of your bedroom, "Father, why do you allow them to triumph over my name? When will you finally clear the fog of these misunderstandings?" Hear my sovereign declaration today, my precious child. Your vindication does not belong to the fragile courts of men, nor does it require the shouting of your own exhausted voice. I am the Lord your defender, and I am stepping into the arena of your reputation this very hour. As written in Psalm 23:5, I prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies. I anoint your head with oil. Your cup overflows. I am issuing a divine decree from the courts of heaven to completely silence every mocking tongue, every deceitful lip, and every legalistic accuser that has dared to campaign against your destiny. The very people who intentionally discarded you, who labeled you as weak, and who celebrated your sudden fall will be forced to stand as silent witnesses to the radiant, blinding light of my favor upon your life. I did not allow them to exclude you to punish you. I allowed it to completely separate you from environments that were structurally designed to suffocate your calling. Stop exhausting your spirit trying to win the approval of minds that are entirely blind to my spirit. You do not need to explain the sacred blueprint of your life to those who only see you through the dark shadows of their own jealousy and brokenness. I am resetting the balance of justice in your favor right now. Those who refuse to help you in your darkest winter will watch in utter amazement as I open the windows of heaven to flood your life with an unstoppable spring of abundance, honor, and joy. The name they tried to bury in the dirt will be lifted up as a glorious monument of my unshakable mercy. hold your peace. Keep your eyes firmly locked onto my eternal gaze and stand completely still. Your accusers have absolutely no authority over your future, for I have already declared you innocent, chosen, and beautifully redeemed. My beloved child, let us address the invisible, exhausting storm that rages within your mind. During the darkest hours of the night, the tormenting spirit of overthinking and mental paralysis. I see you when the rest of the world is fast asleep, lying awake as your thoughts spin endlessly out of control, replaying worst-case scenarios, and trying to desperately solve problems that are entirely beyond your human reach. You feel a physical tightness gripping your chest, a sudden heaviness in your breathing, and a profound mental fatigue that leaves your body feeling completely drained before your day even begins. The enemy has stealthily used your current uncertainties to make you believe that if you do not worry enough, or if you do not constantly calculate every single detail, everything around you will completely collapse. But hear my truth today. Your mind was never created to carry the weight of the universe. Stop trying to force answers out of seasons that are still unfolding under my sovereign care. When you exhaust your spirit trying to figure out the how and the when of your restoration, you are unknowingly taking the burden off my shoulders and placing it onto your own fragile frame. As written in 105, Peter 5:7, cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. True, mature faith is revealed not when you have every single detail mapped out, but when you choose to completely rest in my presence while the sky is still covered in dark clouds. I am the master architect of your destiny, and I see the entire masterpiece from beginning to end. What you look at right now as scattered, confusing pieces, I see as a beautifully woven tapestry of divine victory. I am breathing a supernatural, unshakable calm over your racing mind this very hour. Let the constant overthinking dissolve into the ocean of my grace, and drop your hands in absolute surrender. You do not need to fight this through the panic of the flesh. You win by standing entirely still in my peace. When you enter into my rest, you are declaring to the spiritual realm that I am still king over every storm. The very puzzles that have kept you awake for months are being supernaturally aligned by my hand behind the scenes. You will not be led astray by temporary fear. Rest your weary soul in my hands today, my precious child, for I am entirely in control. My beloved child, let us look today at the deep, hidden fear that has been quietly eating away at your spirit, the terrifying illusion of lost time. When you pause and examine the palms of your hands, or feel the slight tremor of exhaustion in your fingers, a wave of profound sorrow occasionally washes over you. You look at the calendar, you look at your age, and you look at how many prime years of your life were completely consumed by chronic sickness, by toxic relationships, by financial dry spells, and by the heavy, suffocating fog of depression. The adversary has continuously whispered a paralyzing condemnation into your ears, telling you that you have started too late, that the clock has run out, and that you will never catch up to the beautiful destiny I originally designed for you. He wants you to look at your life through the lens of permanent deficit, forcing you to believe that you are destined to spend your remaining days merely managing your losses. But hear my sovereign decree this very hour. I am not bound by the ticking of human clocks, nor am I limited by the passing of earthly seasons. I am the Lord of the harvest, and I am introducing the law of divine acceleration into your life right now. As written in Amos 9:13, the days are coming when the plowman will be overtaken by the reaper, and the planter by the one treading grapes. I am about to compress time in your favor. What normally takes decades for a human being to build, achieve, recover, or heal through natural logic, I will perform for you in a matter of mere days and weeks. I am going to cause a sudden, supernatural momentum to enter your path, violently thrusting you out of the stagnant waiting room and into the vast, overflowing field of your inheritance. You thought you were falling behind, but in truth, I was intentionally holding you back in the hidden chamber of preparation to protect you from premature exposure. Now that your spirit has been beautifully refined through the crucible of absolute silence, I am releasing the divine constraints. The open doors that are breaking through today will not require your frantic, exhausted striving or your manipulation. They will open automatically under the weight of my unshakable favor. I am supernaturally restoring the lost years, the stolen health, and the scattered blessings at a speed that will completely baffle human intellect. Every single voice that once mocked your slow, painful progression will stand in absolute awe as they watch me accelerate your life into a position of supreme honor, absolute stability, and boundless joy. Do not look at the years behind you with regret, my precious child. Trust my supernatural pace. Keep your heart entirely anchored in my rest, and prepare yourself, because the sudden shift has officially begun. My beloved child, as we approach the deep, crowning moments of this sacred encounter, I want you to pause, take a deep breath, and place your hand directly over your heart. Feel its steady, quiet rhythm, a rhythm that I have personally sustained through every single terrifying storm that threatened to completely overwhelm your life. Look closely down at the palms of your hands and the skin upon your arms. You may see the unmistakable markings of time, the physical weathering of stress, or the invisible weight of a body that has traveled through a long, agonizing winter. Your hands have felt utterly empty for so long, lifted up toward the silent heavens in the middle of the night, begging for a single crumb of hope or a slight sign of relief. But today, I am placing my absolute, eternal seal of covenant upon your soul. I am issuing an unshakable decree from the highest courts of heaven that the enemy's legal right to torment your mind, sabotage your hard-earned resources, and bring division into your household is completely and permanently revoked. The turning of your tide is not a fleeting, temporary moment of comfort. It is an irreversible, divine shift that no human plot, no toxic weapon, and no economic crisis can ever reverse or undo. I have watched you with profound love as you walk through the crushing darkness of the winepress, where you felt completely squeezed by unbearable financial pressure, isolated from genuine support, and stripped of your personal dignity. But you must understand the deep spiritual mystery of that pain. The crushing was never meant to destroy you. It was only permitted to extract the most precious, holy anointing oil from your spirit. You are not a broken, tattered monument of past trauma or generational failure. You are a beautifully refined, living temple of my unshakable glory. Every single blessing that was frustratingly delayed, every opportunity that was cruelly stolen, and every ounce of joy that was drained from your life is being gathered by my heavenly hosts and transformed into a glorious crown of honor for your head. You will no longer walk through this world with a weary, defeated posture, hiding your face in secret shame or feeling like you are constantly failing. I am straightening your spine, lifting your chin with my right hand, and filling your eyes with a radiant, unshakable confidence that comes directly from my boundless grace. The spiritual coordinates of your life have been completely and permanently rearranged by my sovereign power. Where there was once a chronic, dry desert of lack, unanswered prayers, and bitter disappointments, a massive artesian well of supernatural favor is bursting forth into your physical reality this very moment. You are standing directly upon the threshold of an unprecedented manifestation of my ancient promises, Absolutely refuse to look back at the smoking ruins of yesterday's grief, and do not allow the spirit of overthinking to rob you of this holy, pristine moment. Your breakthrough has successfully breached the unseen realm, and it is now actively flooding your home with peace, health, and absolute abundance. Rest your weary soul completely inside my everlasting embrace, my precious beautiful child, for the battle has been gloriously won on your behalf, and your season of total restoration is unforgettably sealed. Do not leave my presence before you hear the final, crowning declaration that will solidify your future forever. My beloved child, as this sacred encounter draws to its quiet, majestic close, I want you to feel the absolute, comforting weight of my presence enveloping you like a warm cloak of eternal protection. You have sat with me through the deep valleys of this message, opening the hidden chambers of your heart and allowing my words to gently strip away the thick layers of fear, heavy exhaustion, and hidden grief that have burdened your spirit for so many long, agonizing years. I see the soft tears glistening upon your battle-tested cheeks, and I hear the gentle sigh of relief leaving your chest as the final, stubborn fragments of your old anxiety completely melt away into the bottomless ocean of my grace. I need you to understand this truth with every fiber of your being today. You are no longer the frightened, desperate soul who first stumbled into this dark wilderness, weeping over stolen seasons, ruined resources, and shattered expectations. You are leaving my presence this very hour as a majestic, unshakable monument of my eternal faithfulness. The divine decree over your life has been permanently signed. The boundaries of your suffering have been strictly set, and my covenant of total restoration is forever sealed. I am sending you forward into this brilliant new chapter with a fresh, holy anointing upon your head, transforming your very life into a radiant beacon of light and hope for a dark, weary world. When others look upon your face, they will no longer see the painful scars or the heavy shadows of the trials you survived. They will behold only the blinding, undeniable glory of my supernatural favor. The river of my perfect peace is now flowing effortlessly through every single crack within your soul, beautifully turning what was once a site of devastating brokenness into a pristine wellspring of healing for thousands of lost, discouraged souls who are still wandering blindly through the night. Your spoken words will carry vital life, your hands will dispense genuine comfort, and your steady posture of faith will automatically shatter the invisible prisons of fear surrounding the lives of others. If this powerful prophetic word has spoken directly to your heart today, do not allow the chaotic noise of the world to distract your spirit or steal this pristine moment away from you. Seal this divine appointment in absolute faith by typing Amen in the comments below, boldly laying claim to the supernatural restoration of everything that was wrongfully stolen from your life. Share this message immediately with a friend, a family member, or someone who is currently fighting a silent, exhausting battle, so that their spirit may also be reminded that they are never forgotten and never abandoned. Subscribe to this channel to join our faithful community and continuously nourish your soul with daily Christian motivation, healing prayer, and prophetic encouragement. Walk forward now with your head held high, my precious, beautifully redeemed child, for my sovereign hand will never, ever let go of yours. Your long winter is officially over, your glorious morning is here, and your spectacular breakthrough is completely secure.